What's up, everybody? Belligerent here with another Bloodline video. Let's talk about Guild Valley of Conquerors. I know nobody likes it. I get it. I hear it. I've heard it since last week. Now, I didn't get to play it last week. This is my first week. The first week they released it, we weren't matched, so I didn't get a chance to experience it. And I want to share some thoughts with you from my perspective on the Guild Valley of Conquerors. I'm in the minority, y'all. I actually like it the way it is. Now, the travel time, we can debate how the length it should take to travel. But I like that there is travel time. And hang on. Before y'all flame me, I know you're grabbing the torches and the pitchforks and everybody's just about to throw me off the cliff. I get it, okay? I just want you to know that in the Discord chat that the content creators has a direct conversation with a member of GOAT Games. Like, I stood up for y'all. I told them it wasn't, it shouldn't fly. Like, it was a mistake. And at that time, I also hadn't experienced the game mode. So I was sticking up for y'all. I took your word. I took your voice. I tried to be your voice. Okay? So I just want you to know that before you decide to flame me, because I'm probably on the opposite end of the opinion as you are. I like the strategy behind having to move. And I'll tell you who else should like it. You. The only people that shouldn't like it are the big giant teams, because they don't want to have to chase you around. They want to be able to just bang, 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 knock it out, and just dominate the whole entire map. Okay? But if you are one of the littler teams, if you are, not necessarily the biggest team on the map, you should actually appreciate it. Now, again, we can debate the travel time. Okay? I understand where some people would say 5 minutes was in a way too short, right? Because you had to babysit it every 5 minutes. Me personally, when I'm sitting down and I'm actually playing the game, I think 5 minutes would be better than the 10 minutes that we're experiencing now. When I'm at work or I'm doing other things besides playing the game, I don't mind the 10 minutes. The 10 minutes is a good amount of time for me to do stuff and then occasionally check on my phone. Is there a happy medium? Is it 7 minutes? I don't know. It could be 2 minutes. It could be 3 minutes, but that would be kind of too quick. So I don't know where you personally fall on the spectrum of you want it longer, you want it shorter, but I do like the travel system. Okay? I think it creates for some strategy. It creates for some good cat and mouse. Earlier in this match, I was having to chase a member of the other team. He got into our territory. He was taking our towers. But if I just chased directly behind him, I was never going to catch him, right? You can't chase them. Once they get a head start on you, you're never going to catch them. Okay? So I had to find a different path. I had to maneuver one of my other teams around to one gate to block them off that way, and another one to come up from behind them. Like, there was strategy in trying to chase this guy. As we're in the normal Valley of Conquerors, where it's just Cubert, and you just hop from one square to another, changing the colors, there's not really any strategy. Let me give you an example. Okay, so I'm going to show you this map. All right, now in this particular match that we're in, I am the quote-unquote big dog on the block. I have the big team, okay? We're the purple team. We kind of have control over most of the map, which I know doesn't really speak well for what I'm saying as far as this is good for the little guys, but I'm just being honest. I think that we had better communication, better strategy. I was kind of ready for this. I don't know what was going on with the other teams, but I think overall, like, if you look at our overall team, you have my team that's 9.5 mil. We have Dine's team that's 7. He has a couple of smaller teams and the 1s and 2s. I usually, I have 1.3 there, but I usually travel just one person deep. I've talked to you guys about that in previous valleys. Bookish here, like this is her first ever Valley of Conquerors. You see, she doesn't have any big teams. Her biggest team is 1.1 mil. Same with Fauna here, 2.2. Okay. And our fifth guy Farg here is only 3.1. So except for our top two teams, like look at this. 3.4, 2.5, 1.6, 5.9, 1.9. These other teams have the numbers and the size 5.9, 1.6. Like they have like this one's really struggling. But the other teams have size that could be competitive, but we were kind of ready for it. I told our smaller groups from the beginning, avoid the fights, take the towers that have nobody in them unless you can take the fight. Don't just, set yourself up for failure. Okay? But look at this. So let me give you this example here. I was at this bread tower. This is Red's bread tower. Or windmill. I took it. I've been holding it. And then this gate right here was at one point held by us. Blue came up and took it over. In the other Valley of Conquerors, it would take me about 10 seconds to just tap on all of these over here and just go kick them out of the gate. But instead, I've had to travel over here 10, 20, now I'm at about 25 minutes of travel time to get over here. And in the meantime, you see what this person is doing. They're going down on the low path. Got a couple of others sitting in there. I wouldn't be surprised if I continue to go that way, if they're going to bail, or maybe they just kind of, abandoned it, went to sleep. I don't know. But see, this one is playing some good strategy games. See, I went high, he's going low. Okay. If I continue to go to this gate, by the time I get to this gate, he'll be here, and then he'll be here, and then I'll have to travel 1, 2 back, which means he can get 1, right? And then one of these 2, and it's going to be difficult for me to catch him if I don't divert my course and retreat here to try to make him make a different choice. Okay, so I'm going to pull back here, and we're going to see what he's going to do. And if I sit right here, right, I can race him to this corner here. I can beat him up to the windmill if he tries to come up and take it. If these two decide to try to go high, I can cut them off at this point here. But their strategy, because of the move time. Now, again, we can debate how much time the move time should be. But I'm telling you, especially as smaller teams, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, if this was the other Valley of Conquerors version where there was no travel time, when they took over my gate, it would have been, 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, 4 clicks, and I would have kicked them back all the way back to their starting base. But instead, because there's travel time, they were able to take this gate. I'm not really able to take the gate back. I could, but if I do, I'm going to end up giving up a lot of territory to this guy here. So instead, I am forced, if I want to maintain my hold over the territory, I am forced to fall back and kind of let him decide where he's going and then try to cut him off. And really, unless he's going to engage, which I already know that they're not because I'm significantly larger than their team. Let's see, his team is 3.4 mil, right? I'm, what is this one? 9.5. So like it's a non-contest if we fight. But unless I find a way to force him into a fight or I catch him not paying attention, I'm not really going to be able to do anything. It's going to require me maybe having a team member like the person here. Dine has been holding this tower for a bit now, okay? And they're probably in bed at the time that I'm recording this, so they can't help. But unless we coordinated and one of them came up from behind so we could pinch them, I'm really just kind of playing goalie at this point, trying to minimize how much territory I give up to him. He's going to take this tower. He's going to take that tower. Okay. Now, when he gets and I can fall back here and I can dare him to try to take this point right here. But do you see the strategy? I hope you're seeing the strategy. I understand why when you got used to the Qbert version of Valley of Conquerors, you like that quick version. And I also understand the argument that this is a mobile game. You don't have all this extended time, or you don't want to pay all this extended time and attention to this version of the game. So I hear all of that, and I agree to a certain extent, but for the overall quality of the game, I think that this version is so much better than the Qbert version that we're used to playing. Because in the other version, the big teams rule. They lock down the gates. They, like I said, in a couple of clicks, if you manage to take a territory, they take it right back. I've done it many times being the bigger team in the thing, especially like holding down the middle. It's easy. If somebody starts to, come and take one of the gates, you just click, click, boom, kick them out, and then you go back and you hold the middle again. It's much more competitive, and I understand. I get it. My map is not displaying that. Okay, I'm fully aware, and if you want to roast me for that, I will take it. But I feel this allows for much more competition and much more strategy than the Qbert version that we're used to, because you actually have to think about it. Now, there are some improvements they could make. One thing that I would really like to see is one of these shrines, these shrines that we pick up that give you, like this one gives plus 10% damage. I would like to see a movement speed shrine. Now, the caveat I would put on that is I want there to be some mechanic where one team can't just monopolize it the entire match, unless they're actively beating other teams to it. So maybe it pops up in random spots and you get it and it's there for 10 minutes and then it turns back into a normal tower, and then it would pop up somewhere else on the map, and teams would have to race to it there. But whatever team was holding that movement speed tower, their teams would travel faster. That way you could actually chase somebody down, because that's the one thing that feels slightly off, is being able to chase somebody down, because if you get in a chase, it's just an endless chase until somebody stops paying attention to their phone long enough for you to catch them. So I would like to see some way. I don't know if it's an item. I don't know if it's a tower. I don't want it to be based on might, because I don't want it to be only for the big fish. And I want it to be time limited, so you can't just hold it like we can hold bread towers, or like we can hold the Citadel for just the entire match because we're the bigger team. I don't want that. But I do think there should be some type of variable on the movement speed. I would love to see that. What else would I like to see? There was a couple of other thoughts that I had, but they're escaping me right now. That's really the big thing for me, is the attack speed. Or I'm sorry, not the attack speed, the movement speed. I would like to see a way for there to be some variation on that kind of throughout the match. Okay. I also wouldn't mind if maybe you had a limited amount of ambushes, right? So you could set up maybe like this spot right here in the middle of the road, and you could plant your team there, but it would be invisible to the enemy team. So if they come across that road, boom, they get in a fight with you. Now, obviously, that would be risky for you, because if a bigger team runs into you, maybe that's an item you pick up. Maybe you get that item, randomly. Maybe just each player gets one at the start of the game. I would also make some punishments for using it, right? Like if you're going to use your ambush, that team is locked into that place until somebody triggers the ambush. Or if you come out of the ambush early, you lose the item type thing. I think that would be kind of cool. I do enjoy that if you cross paths with a team, that you fight in the middle of the road. I think that's cool. It's not just at towers. The one thing that I don't like is if you're traveling somewhere. Let's say I decide to travel from here, from the D 021 up to D14, the bread tower. If I'm traveling there, but during my travel time, somebody takes D013, I turn around and I go back to D21. I would prefer we just fought at D13. If you're going to get in my way, and that's already where I'm going, okay? The other thing that I would like to see, and this is from other players, the other players gave me this idea, is we should be able to queue up multiple moves. I don't know. I mean, I guess like if you're taking multiple towers, so I can say here, move to D23, and then move to G05, and then move to C02. Because the only place that you can't do multiple spots is when they're not your towers. So I can understand moving multiple things like that. Another thing is like okay, so here's what I would like. If I move from D21 to D14, but in that decision, like after I pass D13, if I hit the retreat button, I'm going all the way back to D21. I don't like that. I should just go back to the last tower, D13. I don't want to lose this 10 minutes. Let's say somebody went to the windmill tower and I don't want to fight them, I can fall back, but I should just fall back to the very next tower instead of all the way back from wherever I queued up the move from. I would like to see that. Those are the changes I would like to see. I am a fan of this new version with the movement speed. We can debate how much time. I don't know what the right amount of time is. 10 seems too long when I'm actively playing, but it's just right. Maybe even slightly too short, but it's just right for when I'm at work and I can just kind of check once in a while. It gives you enough time to put it down and kind of walk away. I do like that. But I love the strategy. So go ahead, roast me in the comments because I know most of you don't like it. Let me know what your thoughts are for improvement outside of just change it to the Qbert version because I already know that's what most people want. But let me know if you have any thoughts, ideas. How can we improve this? People listen, people see the videos. Give me your comments. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. I'm Belligerent. Peace.